Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where I break down all the goals scored in the Premier League using my over 20 plus years coaching experience. Today we're doing Brighton against Manchester City, and yes, I was a real coach and did really real stuff, not like these idiots on TV, which people still don't understand. Just because you played the game doesn't mean you know the game and know how to coach it. Let me give you a classic example. If anyone's played a game, something like Red Dead Redemption 2, yeah, I played Red Dead 2, Cash. Can you code it? Do you know everything about it? No, because I played it. Yeah, because you played the game doesn't mean you can make Red Dead Redemption 2. Just because you played the game doesn't mean you can make a solid and quality football team on the field. The fact that people think that, to me, still cracks me up to this day, how dumb people actually are. Right, but let's just get into one of these common problems that I see in football happening more and more in the Prem. Just because of... Look, there's so many reasons this is happening, but I want to highlight the problem for you. Can you see these two players are both being marked here, right? And look at the both Brighton players that are both ball watching. This is one of those things that happen in all over, when you're doing jobs. When you've got a responsibility to do, just say, for instance, you're in the workplace and your job is to do A. And you don't do A because somebody else keeps doing A for you. Well, you stop doing A. But then you get in trouble because when you turn around, they go, well, your responsibility is A. And you go, yeah, but mate, he was doing it. Yeah, but that's not his job. It's your job. And it happens quite often. So these two here are doing somebody else's job. These two midfielders, let me get rid of those lines so you can actually see what I'm talking about. These two midfielders here should be marking in here, and they're not. So these defenders here are matched up. So what ends up happening here is a bit of a problem when the ball gets cycled and gets moved forward, right? So let's just move the ball forward. And this is the difference. When the ball now gets played down the line here, these players leave the players they're marking. So now what's supposed to happen is these players that aren't doing anything are supposed to have come in and marked these players here. But they're used to not doing that because these guys were doing it for them anyway. So they don't come in and do their job. So these little runners, all they basically do is stand still, and the defenders are ball watching, chasing the ball, and they end up running down here and leaving the two players that were marked, where they were marking, and then no one else comes in to pick up the slack from these two players here. No one says, yeah, come and do that. Look, they all just stand there and watch this gap open up, which is unbelievable that this huge gap opens up because these midfielders, all of them, just basically stand still and don't come and track these two players here. Why don't they track them? Because they thought they were being marked by these guys and they haven't had to do it. Now, all of a sudden, look at the space. Yeah, does he score a nice little diving header? Yeah, it's quite decent, actually, to be fair. If he makes sound effects, you would have got 2 goals. That is the rules in the Premier League. Sound effects on good goals get you double goals. Right, so when this cross comes in here and he goes for the header, this guy he probably could have still been aware of the situation, but he doesn't take his eyes off looking at the ball. He doesn't turn his head. He doesn't move around. He just focuses on the ball and completely lets his team down. Right, if you're in a situation sometimes as a defender, you have to look around and see what's going on and mark your player. If the ball isn't there and the ball's out wide, that is the right thing to do. They don't do it. The ball comes across. It's not a good ball. It's not a bad ball. It's just easy because look, there's a whole line of space. And if you just do this, right? Schwip, schwip. Oh, that looks interesting. Nice line, Cash. That is the pocket of space that they've created because these guys haven't done anything. Unbelievable, really. It's shocking. As he goes, wash, whoppa! And then he gets a nice little goal in top corner. Nothing really to show here much, but I'm just going to talk about the discipline that is that every single Man City player is back inside this area defending their box. Sorry, their goal, not their box. That's important. When you're talking about how teams win football games, it's because they're together. They're a unit. Everybody does their job every single time. They're not Marcus Rashford standing over here picking his nose, going, "Oh, I'm not going to play defence today. I want to go and play on the wing." No, everyone does their job, and that's how you win football games. That's important. Look, they don't care about these runners. They're just going to block the space up when the ball comes in. They don't have a guy up here on the D, which I would still have someone up there for the second ball. They've framed the D, like I'm always talking about. They've got 2 players up there, but Man City have everybody back in the box. That is unity. That is teamwork. That's what wins you championships. This is just an unlucky deflection. Well, is it really? See, that's another football term. People go, oh, it's just an unlucky deflection. Personally, I'd be yelling at the guy for his body position for being wrong, and I'll show you that right now. Just show you the goal going in. He doesn't use sound effects, so he doesn't get an extra point. But I want to show you this little rookie shot. So people say it's unlucky. I'll say this guy hasn't done his job properly. So watch him here. Can you see his face? He's looking at us. It's a bit blurry, but as it goes, he is currently facing this way, and his shoulders are about there. He turns his shoulders to there and he faces that way. That's how the ball comes off his back, because he turns his body. He doesn't take it in the face. Your job right now is to get your head in front of that football there to stop it going into the net box, and he doesn't do it. He can see the football come into his face. He can see it's going to happen. All he has got to do is just take it in the face and not go 2-0 down. Doesn't do it. Watch him turn. See if I can pause this quick enough. See his body shape, see his back, bounces off his back and goes into the goal. That's why, because his flat surface is here for it to bounce off. If he doesn't turn his shoulders, it does hit him in the chest and it doesn't go into the goal. And that's what people get. That's what gets me so frustrated as well. You can see that's what it is. You can fix that. It is that player's fault. Take responsibility, because if you don't take responsibility when you do it wrong, you can't fix it. You'll just go, oh no, and you'll forever do it wrong. No, just go, yeah, you know what, I did that wrong, but I'm going to make sure I don't do that wrong again. That's how you become a good football player. Taking responsibility of your actions is a huge thing subconsciously. People don't really understand this, or they've been brought up in this, where they've been allowed to get away with things. So if you want to be better at anything in life, you have to take responsibility of those little things that you can control. Because if you do, then you'll put them right. If you're always saying, oh, well, no, it's not my fault. Well, you'll never become a better football player. You'll never become better at anything in your life, because it's always somebody else's fault. The only thing that you can control in this world is what you do. Fix your little problems, fix your little mistakes, and own up to them, because your brain subconsciously will go, right, we need to change that. Consciously, you might not think it's a big deal, but it really is subconsciously. You will actually start to implement all the little changes that you need to do. Yeah, I need to do better on that. You can say it out loud if you want, but if you do, you'll become better. You'll become better on the field, you'll become better coach, or better at anything you want to do in life. Especially if you've got a girlfriend, a relationship, or anything like that. Oh, it's not my fault, it's hers. No, it's probably yours. Have a look, think about what you can do better, and you will become better at everything you do in life. This to me is just absolutely shocking. It's another error from playing the ball out of the back. If this was happening under 13s, I'd accept it, but not in the Premier League. This goes down to people trying to teach things that they don't know what to do and the players don't understand it. Right now, the keeper's only outlet is over here. Bosh. It's to this little wee chap down here. Whoopang! That's where he needs to go. And he doesn't do it. You can see the pressure's here. You can see you don't want to put it into here, because if you make a pass into this area, one of these guys can run in and nick it off them at any opportunity. This is your safe place. What he really has to do is use his left foot, right? So he's touched it with his right, play it with his left, and it's out. He doesn't do that. He beats this little player here. As it comes in, he does a little chink, because he takes too long over the pass. He thinks he's got a gap now playing it into here, but you can see someone's already reading it. Because if this was me, I'd already been knowing exactly where he's going, and I'm reading that pass straight away. And as you play it into this guy here, as you can see, the keeper doesn't pass it to that guy because the pressure's coming on. That's exactly what I'd been doing. So he finds somebody else, but it doesn't help. This guy still has the option, still has the opportunity to ping it straight to this guy with pace on it. Put it on with pace, because if you do, it gives him the opportunity to put it on with pace to him or to get rid of the ball. He has to play it with pace to this guy to get rid of it. He can't. If he's really good at the football, what he will do is use his left foot here, spin turn this way. I love this little turn, by the way. It's a great thing to get out of trouble. I was teaching it to a lad a couple of years ago, and he was so grateful on the wing. It's such a fantastic little way to get away. I say lad, as he's playing, yeah. But it's such an easy opportunity, and he doesn't do that. Let's look what he did. He played a little dink pass here back into the danger area. Really, really problematic. He thinks it's clever, he thinks it's neat, and he puts his teammate into trouble here. Now his teammate can get out of the trouble really easy with a first time pass. Now he's closed the door to this guy, but he's opened it for him just to dink it straight to this guy here first time with pace on it. Doesn't do it. So you can see the pass is on. He can easily blast that ball out of danger right there. Doesn't. He takes a touch, and now he's done. He's absolutely done. They're creating a pressure pocket, okay? So that's basically where you're trying to squeeze the ball in an area, and you're using 3 players to shut down all the passing angles so he can't get out of the area. He can't get out of the area now because you can see 1, 2, 3 are cutting all the angles down from him. Why 3? Well, because that's only the real points. The fourth one is behind you generally, so you don't really need the fourth player. And you don't really get close, because if you get close, you can just go around you all. All right, one little part can break everybody. They're perfectly spaced out. They've done this. There's a reason Man City are good at this. I won't talk about that, because every time I talk about how Man City actually train and what they do, I get copyright struck. I can save that for real world coaching, not online coaching, where they can know exactly what I'm saying. So that's the pass there. The pressure pocket is closing this guy down. He takes a touch and he ends up losing the football. Let's have a little watch. Bosh takes a little touch and now he loses the ball. And after you've lost the ball, here's the problem with when you're trying to do this. Unless you're super good at the old footy, your team is going from being really spread out, because that's what you want to pass the ball, to now you have to be really close and tight together to defend. They can't do that because it's too quick. And here's the difference. As soon as he gets it, he knocks it off. Just like I was saying that guy needed to pass it out here first time. Well, what Man City do is they take the shot first time and they put it into the net box. They do exactly what Brighton should have done, playing that ball out first time. They just play it first time, straight into the corner of the goal and get themselves another goal. There's so many wrong decisions that's going on there. You wouldn't know where to start. What you really do know is that they don't know how to be passing the ball out of the back properly. And so there's this other thing as well, is if you know about team balances, and I don't mean about the balance of the right back and the left back, I mean about one team against the other team. So if the balance is the same, you're playing it like say a Man City against someone's equal, like a Real Madrid. Okay, those teams are comparable. But if you're a Man City and you're playing against a lesser opposition, the lesser opposition can't do certain things that they get away with because the other team's got better players. So you can't pass the ball around out the back. However, say if Brighton are playing against a Nottingham Forest or a Sheffield United, they can pass the ball out the back because the other team isn't as good and lets them get away with it. So you think, oh yeah, but it's good in this game. Yeah, but it's not in all of the games, and you can't really do that effectively against some of the top teams. You have to understand that. It doesn't mean you don't pass the ball out of the back. It just means you take less chances out of the back, and the goalkeeper gets rid of it more times than not, because if he does hold on to it, you're going to get yourselves in these situations. So yeah, pass it out. Say you're doing it 80% of the time. Okay, normally, and you're getting rid of it 20% of the time. Now you're doing it 20% of the time and you're getting rid of it 80% of the time, because the quality of the opposition you're playing against is better. They don't understand that, and they never will. Here we are, we're going to pick up the action from just a long ball from the goalkeeper. He smashed it in behind for Kyle Walker to run onto, and you can clearly see, look, you've got two, I was about to say Man United players there, Man City players running onto the goal, and these guys are too far behind. Neither of them can get back in time. Kyle Walker's off to the races, and the poor goalkeeper's left in no man's land just because they aren't ready for the ball in behind. The quickest way to the goal is route one, straight over the top. And that's basically what's happened here. Now, this is also poor covering and defending at the same time. So you can see that there's two players going to the ball. Right, so this guy here is done a curved run from there, and this guy's kind of come over to there, right? Well, you have to take responsibility and say, right, I'm going to the ball, and that means this guy comes and covers the other player. They cross, they switch each other. They can't both go to the ball, because all that will happen is the ball will get passed to the other guy, right? That's all that will happen. And they'll completely get taken out of the play. You both can't pressure the ball. Now, you're also in a tough situation because you're both defending 2 at the moment, and you're behind the run of players. Sorry, you're behind play as well. So you are already doing a couple of things wrong. You can't do a second thing wrong as well. You have to take the risk that one of you does the job properly of pressuring the ball. Why this guy? Because he's coming from the right side of the ball. He's coming from in front of the ball, not from behind the ball. This guy's coming from behind the ball, so he needs to keep running so he can stop the pass. This guy can run towards the ball. That's what needs to happen. Oh, and there's like loads more reasons I can explain. Like the guy running from behind the ball, he's running at pace while this guy stops, so he can actually catch this guy now. If he runs towards the ball, this guy can see him and he can play blah blah. He can't block it because he's not in front of him. He can block it because he is in front of him, and you can go on for hours trying to explain just the simple things that that this goes down, but they don't get it, don't understand it. So next thing, Dorsch, boom, he does him, and then he gets himself a little goal. I'll go back to my point as well. Right, see this guy? This is the guy I wanted to go and pressure the ball. Look, he ended up not pressuring the ball here on the edge of the 18-yard box. This guy got done because he was coming from the wrong side of the player, like I said it was going to happen, right? And this guy ran back to there. All he had to do was go towards the ball. If he had, when he beat this little wee man here, he would have won the ball. Even though they've done the thing wrong with both of them pressuring the ball, they still do the next thing wrong where the one pressuring it, they should have been pressuring it, this guy, doesn't cut the pass out and doesn't go to the ball. He runs behind the goalkeeper. Just go to the ball. Yeah, it's still shocking. It's still terrible. See, when the guy comes behind him like that and he's made that decision and the guy's beating him, and Kyle Walker's beating him, his decision is wrong, but he set it up for his teammate to actually challenge for the ball if he's made the wrong decision, which he did. But he doesn't go there, doesn't help him, and it's just another simple tap into the goal. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Yells at Premier League Footballers.